This is Emilee's Paper Caper, where we're all about scrapbooking, scrapping our stash, and getting pages done. Today I'm sharing something different. This is a glue book art journal comp book that I was inspired to make by a YouTube channel I ran across called Mickey's Arts and Crafts. I'll link to the video that she has that inspired this. But I decided that this would be a lot of fun and just a way to relax my mind and get creative juices flowing for when I scrapbook. Not to mention, I had all the supplies on hand already, and so I'm using my stash in a creative way that's very satisfying. At the end of the video, I'll also do some gluing to give you some ideas of what I'm doing here and how I'm using my stash items. So Mickey's video, which again is linked in the description, will show you how she set her book up. I pretty much followed what she suggested. I grabbed a composition book. This is one that was in my stash. It was probably 50 cents or something on clearance, and what I did was I went through, and the first thing I did was break the white of the page with some color. Mickey's video shows you how to do this too, so I won't spend a lot of time talking about that, but you can see how I've just taken some ink pads and I've put some color on a lot of these pages. The other thing I did was I went through and put washi tape on each edge of every page. And this was a lot of fun, extremely satisfying, and I ended up using up about 5 or 6 rolls of washi tape that had been in my stash for some time, and it was just a lot of fun. So this book can be filled with anything. I can journal in it, I can draw in it, I can collage in it. And some of the supplies that I've been using are just my ATG gun, rulers and letter stencils, paper punches, of course washi tape, glue stick, my scissors, ephemera, and paper scraps. So let me tell you about some of these pages, and then we will have some fun doing some gluing. So in the front, I've made a little pocket out of a piece of paper. I also cut that paper in half and made a pocket back here. I thought that I could use it to stick some scraps and ephemera, just make it handy. Then in the front of the book, I decided to put the date that I started the book on, and then after I've filled the book, I will put a finished date. Some people just collage or glue things, found objects, magazine clippings, photos, words from magazines, and I will probably do some of that as well. But I've also, for my first pages, I've been using my scrapbook stash. I used some stickers, I used my colored pencils and pens, which I have in this cute holder. These are real handy this way and can set right there on my workstation. And I started out by just using some pocket cards that I had already cut some things out and just wanted to use the rest of the card. I sketched my finger, I held it out and traced it on a scrap paper and then sketched it in and put a little string on the finger, and I put a date in the corner of the date that I finished that page. The next page is just a hodgepodge of things. I had this cute Julie Nutting stamped image that I had stamped and colored, and I had never put her on a card, and I thought, why not put her in this book? she could have a home. And I thought, wonder what she's saying. And I had this make things happen thought bubble. So I added that to the page. Want to be positive and keep positive thoughts going. So I used "You got this," and then a sticker that says "Let your light shine." And this is a sticker from Hamilton. It says, "What did I miss?" And I thought it was just so cute, and it's just a hodgepodge for fun, and so I put him on the page. Over here, I decided to use a chipboard, and for the letters, I had gotten these letter stencils at a secondhand store called The Idea Store. I will link to a video about that store down in the description and also up in the card. But I wanted to test these out and see how they worked, so I just went through and did the whole alphabet and colored them in, and then did some Zentangle doodling and dated these 2 pages on the date that I finished that page. I decided I liked how those letters worked out, so I will be using them on a lot more pages. Here I've just had some fun with some paper scraps, punched a lot of circles from my scrap bin. This background piece was from a packaging. I bought a stencil and I thought that that was so pretty, why waste it? And did some more stencil coloring. These are also from the Idea Store, and I just trace those stencils to fill in the bottom. I had some ephemera, and it included some bingo cards, so I went through and pasted a bunch of those bingo cards to pages throughout the book, which I will flip through and show you more pages, but I just had some other ephemera and I decided to collage it on that page. Here's a page that I was working on this morning. I may add a saying on top of this, maybe using a darker colored marker and the letters. I want to think of a quote maybe that uses the word circle. The map in the background says Arctic Circle, and then I used a bunch of scraps that I punched circles out of, and so I think a saying using the word circle would be good for that page. And most of the rest of the book is still yet to be filled. Here is a page where I've added some background, but I intend to go back through and put more on top of there. So you can kind of get a feel for what the pages unfinished look like, and I think just the creative possibilities and the fun I'll have using my stash on hand will just really be satisfying. It's kind of nice having the washi tape here on the side. It really helps kind of to turn those pages. Oh, I missed a page. I didn't get washi on that one. Let's add it now. There we go. Okay, good stuff. Oh, another page I missed. Can't have that, can we? No, we cannot have that. All right, there's another bingo card. I want to show you a little bit back here. I had some rhinestone adhesive tape, and I decided to go ahead and use that up, and so I put it on several pages. So I won't show you all the pages back here because it's more of the same, but these are all waiting and ready for me to fill. Here's another piece of that packaging. Just added it as a background, and I can keep working on this book. I know some people take some pages out so that it doesn't get so, they call that kind of alligator, but I kind of like it, and eventually I'll put a big rubber band around it or something, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. You might be thinking, well, I'm a scrapbooker, Emily. I watch your channel for scrapbooking. Yeah, I know. I'm a scrapbooker too. I'm not really a glue booker. But sometimes you've got to get those creative juices flowing, and you can just relax and create something, practice your doodling, and then after you've done a page or two and a little bit of gluing, it'll be so satisfying, you'll be so relaxed, you'll be ready to create your scrapbook page. So that's why I thought I'd go ahead and share this, and I also wanted to link over to Mickey's Arts and Craft channel. Again, that's down in the description, because you might like to check out what she does with her glue books. So let's do a little bit of collage over here with this ephemera I've set out. This is just an old sewing pattern, so we will use that on the page. I wonder if I could make a little pocket. I could make a little pocket. Let's do that. So which side should I show? I think she's kind of cute. We'll let her show. We'll get her on this page. Now, I've also got my glue stick out, and I will probably use that, but I want this pocket to be pretty secure, so that's why I used the ATG gun. Let's see, this is a piece of an adhesive strip that was left in my scrap bin, so we will just add that to the page. And we need something in the pocket, so I really like this. It's an old telephone message, but it's pretty thin, so let me get a scrap from my scrap bin to make that a little heavier. Oh, that's cute, right? Let's put a pull on there. Something here should fill in this background, so I'm going to use these butterflies. I really love this butterfly punch. My friend Sonia gave it to me. She didn't want it anymore, and so I have been using it, and it's a great way to use paper scraps. For a detailed thing like that, like this, I'm going to use this little two-way glue squeeze and roll. My friend Renee sent me this at Christmas time with a lovely package, and I have found it to be so useful. Just super, super good for those small little pieces that need to be glued, but it's really handy. What do you use to glue little things like this? Do you use a glue pen like this, or do you use a Xyron machine, or do you have some trick that works with your ATG gun or your glue stick? I would love to know other ways to glue these types of tiny items to a page. If you have any ideas or things you like to use, let me know down in the comments. So I just wanted to give you a kind of a feel for what I was doing here and give you an idea for something that you probably already have on hand, which is probably a comp book or some other notebook, and washi tape and paper scraps. And if you have magazines, you can cut out images you really like and just have a fun, creative, and relaxing time filling a glue book like this. Let's keep on scrapping our stash together. Here are links to a couple more videos, and I'm ready to keep on scrapping.